Hello, I'm Clare Mackintosh, the author of I Let You Go, and I'm going to read you a short section today. When I wake, for a second I'm not sure what this feeling is. Everything is the same, and yet everything has changed. Then, before I've even opened my eyes, there's a rush of noise in my head like an underground train, and there it is, playing out in Technicolor scenes I can't mute or pause. I press the heels of my palms into my temples as though I can make the images subside through brute force alone, but still they come, thick and fast, as if without them I might forget. On my bedside cabinet is the brass alarm clock Eve gave me when I went to university, because you'll never get to lectures otherwise, and I'm shocked to see it's 10:30 already. The pain in my hand has been overshadowed by a headache that blinds me if I move my head too fast, and as I peel myself from the bed, every muscle aches. I pull on yesterday's clothes and go into the garden without stopping to make a coffee, even though my mouth is so dry it's an effort to swallow. I can't find my shoes and the frost stings my feet as I make my way across the grass. The garden isn't large, but winter's on its way, and by the time I reach the other side I can't feel my toes. The garden studio has been my sanctuary for the last 5 years. Little more than a shed to the casual observer, it's where I come to think, to work, and to escape. The wooden floor is stained from the lumps of clay that drop from my wheel, firmly placed in the centre of the room, where I can move around it and stand back to view my work with a critical eye. 3 sides of the shed are lined with shelves on which I place my sculptures, in an ordered chaos only I could understand. Works in progress here, fired but not painted here, waiting to go to customers here. Hundreds of separate pieces, yet if I shut my eyes, I can still feel the shape of each one beneath my fingers, the wetness of the clay on my palms. I take the key from its hiding place under the window ledge and open the door. It's worse than I thought. The floor lies unseen beneath a carpet of broken clay, rounded halves of pots ending abruptly in angry, jagged peaks. The wooden shelves are all empty, my desk swept clear of work, and the tiny figurines on the window ledge are unrecognisable, crushed into shards that glisten in the sunlight. By the door lies a small statuette of a woman. I made her last year, as part of a series of figures I produced for a shop in Clifton. I had wanted to produce something real, something as far from perfection as it was possible to get, and yet for it still to be beautiful. I made 10 women, each with their own distinctive curves, their own bumps and scars and imperfections. I based them on my mother, my sister, girls I taught at pottery class, women I saw walking in the park. This one is me. Loosely, and not so anyone would recognise, but nevertheless me. Chest a little too flat, hips a little too narrow, feet a little too big, a tangle of hair twisted into a knot at the base of the neck. I bend down and pick her up. I had thought her intact, but as I touch her, the clay moves beneath my hands, and I'm left with 2 broken pieces. I look at them, then I hurl them with all my strength towards the wall, where they shatter into tiny pieces that shower down onto my desk. I take a deep breath and let it slowly out. I'm Clare Mackintosh, and that was an extract from I Let You Go.